This is your daily market recap for Monday, May 16th, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Monday. What is it? May 16th, 2022. Let's get into it. It is OPEX week, y'all. Hope you're excited. Also yet a little bit scared, maybe nervous about what's going to happen, because ultimately CHOPEX, OPEX, this means you're going to get extremes in both directions potentially. You should be expecting, if you are near a bottom in something, it probably could bottom near term, or if it's near the highs, it could possibly top. This kind of action usually happens during options expiration in the first and last 3 days of the month. There's a lot to talk about in this video, so please grab a cup of coffee, sit down, hit play, take some notes. Please update your charts as we go through this, because you're going to like what you see. First off, start in the Discord room. If you're not a member and you are newer to trading or struggle with trading, lost money, you feel like you know how to trade, but you just can't put it all together, this is a good place to start. Come and hang out, learn some things differently, be willing to have an open mind and change, because I always tell people the account balance is the mirror. If you are not doing well in trading, your account balance will tell you that, and it's really that simple. And if you need to do things differently, you have to adjust, because your account balance tells you that. So in this room, we talk about tons of things going on all day. And it's just, again, my job and what I typically like to do is just kind of guide people along the way. And if they watch videos and they're studying and they're reading the books and they have questions on the trades I'm in or things they're thinking about, I love to answer your questions. I love to help out. I always tell people, just like when I was ready, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Always. It just always will, if you're ready to learn. And not even necessarily learn. Maybe you just need to tweak one thing. I always tell people that when trading. Maybe you do know how to trade, but you don't know how to manage risk. Maybe you don't know how to overcome FOMO. Maybe you don't know how to do something as simple as just take profits. You know, you just always ride things out into a loss, you know, same as FOMO, but maybe you also don't know how to enter a trade. Like, you just can never get in when it's time. We've got the solution for all of that. Okay, Bitcoin. Ooh, I don't know why this thing changed. Come on, let's get this right. We hit channel lows, bounced, nice. However, we are just holding high and tight, I would say low and tight at 29,000. Friends, that is not bullish. You need to get away from the low end of range as fast as possible. Something like this. That's what you want to see, because if not, then you see more of this crap. So if you want to be bullish Bitcoin and really believe it's going to go much higher, you need to get away from the 29, 28, 25, whatever. You need to not see a 20 handle on Bitcoin. And when I say 20, like 20,000 starting point number. All right, let's get into what? The stock market. But we always like to start on the bond market, because I think people don't realize the bond market is very smart, and it also gives you tells. What do we say? We thought this was a bottom of the channel, and then it failed, and then we went much lower. And what have we said always? The end of a move is usually the breakout of the channel down or up. That was really hard to stop out. Now we're getting a little more likely, but also keep in mind the last bottom we didn't pick, because we also once we broke these channels at like the mid 120s, we said that could possibly bounce, but it became very apparent that the 200 month, and guess what, the 2018 lows would hit. TLT has been hard. I have struggled with it. Again, anybody who trades will struggle with a trade potentially, and knowing where and when to get in, when to get out. However, you use layering and use stops, and unfortunately, or actually fortunately, I did get the bottom around 112, 113. However, I sold it pretty quickly, because guess what? I don't believe in V bottoms. I know we're out of the channel, but I think at some point, again, set your alarm, fill your gaps at 115. I do think bonds will bottom first. Again, look at the monthly chart. And if you're ever worrying about a trade and you're thinking like, what do you think Dan might do? The first question is go to the monthly. At worst, go to the monthly chart, because why? The stock market has muscle memory. The players of the game have a ton of memory. What do you notice about this 120 to 113 range? I mean, look at all the volume at price. Let me just steal this thing and just drag it over. What do you notice in this area? It's where all the volume at price is. I hope you can see that. And that's why volume at price matters, because that's where the volume is transactioning, if that's a word. So anyway, double bottom On the monthly, I expect some sort of retest. Should be a higher low, retest of the exact same price range, or it could go down to 111, which would be the 2 times range. That would be actually probably the most sneaky bottom to buy. That would be nobody would expect, and everyone would be like, oh, continuation. All right, what did we say? The market doesn't peak downside, like blow out until capitulation happens. Well, what have we warned? We can't get over this trend or this channel or trend line, whatever. Can't get over this 36 area. Well, to me, the market hasn't bottomed. It doesn't mean that the market can't go higher near term, because again, market is a facilitating, discounting mechanism that just doesn't go in straight lines. It moves in waves and all over the place. So we said if you can't get up here, then expect chop. Market could pop. We'll show you where we thought the market would pop, and it exactly popped. But notice what's going on here. It's OPEX. Let's beat up the freaking VIX. Let's beat that thing down. It seems very obvious the 26s are coming on the VIX. Okay? SPY. Again, that doesn't necessarily mean I don't know where the SPY is. A lot of people are calling for 410. I get it. I see why people think this gap is going to fill like 411. However, what do we say? Channel low held. The VIX couldn't get over its breakout. And well, guess what? Chopping. Now we're back in old trend line. Notice how this one, this old guy, I would say older gentleman, came into play. Let's see. Watch the 8-day. I mean, again, it's really hard to call for higher highs when you can't technically take out other important zones. So 410, yeah, I mean, I guess I can see that could be a nice upside. I mean, where's the 20-day? A lot of this matters if you can get over the 8 and 10-day, and you get over, I would even say get over 405, which at this point, during ChopX, is it likely? Variably likely. I mean, it could be. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, maybe even bleed into next week or the next following week after that. Again, I tell people, like, don't get excited about one green candle, or don't get excited about the markets in general, because the trend is down. If you're not aware that the trend is down, fine. I mean, again, I'm not going to just short the lows. No, I wait for pops. I wait for verified areas, and I'm very patient. Again, I have still a third of my shorts from the originally, like, short at the highs, which a lot of people will get into tech why. But again, I've taken a third off, and I'm just like begging AMD. I'm begging Apple to pop. And notice they can't even pop today. The money's coming out, but people don't even see it. And so on that note, as the SPY will go on to the QQQ, or the poo. I mean, it's just, I show people all the time. Nobody, I mean, I'm never hear anyone talking about this stuff. This is the first close below the 20-month that didn't come right back above it. Since when? Literally 2009. Red alert. Red alert. Because notice, you get below it and you pop back in the next month. You get below it, you pop back. You go below it, you pop back. You went below it, you pop back. We went below it, and look at this month of May. We are not coming back. Sorry to raise my voice. I just need to remind people. The secret is not out yet, because guess what? At the lows, everyone will be scared. We'll probably be buying some sort of dip. My guess is somewhere around 200 would be like the safest buy, but it could be 250s or covering then. Again, this is going to play out as long as it takes. Again, years ending in 2 are usually not bullish. Why? Well, that's just the seasonality of the cycles. And where are we struggling now in the 300 level? Get back above it. You can get to the 20-day. I'm telling you people right now, I am not buying anything for the long run. Not even gold, not even silver, not even uranium, not even steel, some of my favorite things. No, I will not. Well, I actually bought a little junior miner, and it's not working out so great, but I only bought 500 shares of $5 stock, so you can do the math there. That's not a big loss if I am completely wrong. Putting $5,000 or $2,500 in the market is not a big deal to me. Feeler bet, stupid feeler bet actually, but is what it is. It could put a stop, but I don't care. Focus on other things. I like that stock at some point. We'll get into the metal soon, but think about like this action. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, boom. Straight line move, due to bounce. Like look at this, bounce, bounce, bigger bounce, 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 bounce. All right, how big is the bounce going to be, Dan? I don't know. It's ChopX. I don't know, but you know what I do know? I don't short just a short. You have to wait for extremes. Just like if you were going long, and we talked about on that in the SPY. If you hit the channel lows, I mean, I literally put a tweet out, and if you're not following me on Twitter, it's like, hey, watch the channel lows. Nice trade. Absolutely. 385 up to 404 or whatever today's high is. Like, that's 403.90. Pretty close. That's a great trade. I'm not going to argue that bulls can't make money in this, but I just don't have, like, again, I can't. I guess I could technically trade everything, but I choose not to. And that's one of the things you learn as a seasoned trader, is that, you know, you can't chase every trade. Pretend this is a baseball game and the pitcher is throwing you all sorts of wild pitches. I want the strike. I want the easy thing that I can try to hit out of the park if it's right. And that means shorting highs, not chasing the lows with shorts. IWM, we've said for a while, this thing led the highs in November and it peaked first. This thing needs the bottom first. Where did it bounce at? What do we say? Hey, look, it's the old COVID, pre-COVID highs of 2018. Look at that. And then it was the COVID pre-highs. Look at that. Come on, don't act like you're surprised. Support equals resistance. Resistance equals support. All right, let's get into gold, because a lot of people are just, they just can't like help themselves. They just absolutely cannot help themselves. Every day it's a buy. Every single day that ends in DAY is a gold, silver, uranium buy. Go check Twitter. Go check these guys, because they love to like act like some sort of asshole for calling them out. Because again, if I am wrong continuously on a trade and I tell you and everybody listening to continue to buy, I'm the idiot. What did we talk about? We talked about the 2011 highs in the retest during OPEX. OPEX for gold. What has it done? Boom. Now, could it be bottoming down here? It's completely logically possible. However, seasonality sucks for gold. So just don't even look at it. I mean, keep in mind, like, it seems very apparent now. And if you saw the other charts, you could see down like the 160 range. I feel like this area is going to test at some point. It feels so strong. Like the force is strong with this spot. Like the market maker really wants to test gold's conviction. It'll hold this little trend line for a week or 2 weeks, and then boom, they'll blow you out. They'll blow the market out. Nothing is safe. Absolutely nothing safe. Even gold will get capitulated, because guess what? There's a ton of margin out there. There's a ton of people who are going to have to sell winners to cover their losses. And if you can't really see that, if you really can't see that, because you have not studied the past, let's go back in the time machine real quick to 2020. Where's COVID, my friend? Yes, even during COVID, look at this. Even peak COVID, gold went from 158 and dropped down to 136. It actually dropped. I'm just telling you, it blew out. Like, that was a market capitulation. Look at silver. Nobody saw... I guess only I kind of expected something like this, but didn't trade it as well as I should. Look at this. Silver. 17. All the way to 10. You can see it on the monthly. This was the monster look below and fail that I've referenced many times. So, again, do you want to buy silver and gold right now, knowing that the market, A, has not capitulated, and B, the seasonality sucks? It seems like recipe for chop. And if you want to be a person who just loves to live in the chop land versus trading things that are working, be my guest. I will leave them alone. GDX, we're getting into our buy zone. Same thing. Leave it alone. And look at this. I mean, we even called the bottom in December, and this thing just took forever to run out. The seasonality is what kept us in it, and it eventually paid out. But what do we say? Seasonality sucks in the second quarter for all metals. Always has, all time. Now, again, not every year. Someone will come out like, oh, 2020 was it, or 2021 or something. It's like, yeah, I know. But go study the tendencies. You're going to realize, like, hey, 9 out of 10 years just absolutely are barf-o-matic for seasonality. GDXJ, we filled... I guess we hit my little fun little channel lows and everything. Dan, you got to buy it. We'll look at the channel lows. Oh, COVID broke it down because this thing went from 45 down to 19. Gold dropped $200 an ounce, and the miners dropped what? You do the math. 50 plus percent. That crap can happen during capitulation, and it made no sense, and hence why the price rallied from 18 up to 60, whatever, 3 or 4, whatever that was during that time. 66. So do you want to be early, or do you want to wait for the capitulation? if you come to me and you ask me, Dan, is it a good time to buy the metals and miners, and we have not seen capitulation, I'm pretty sure you know my answer. It's going to be absolutely not. Even a stock like AG, oh my God, love this thing. Brown, coming back down. Come on back. Come on back here. Just let it come on down. AEM, love this. I mean, they're killing it. I love that they bought KL. Watch the 40s, mid 40s. Love it. This is the stock that I bought 200 or 500 shares of at 570 at the channel. No. However, I like it long term because it is a recent IPO. It is holding up. I'm watching this area around 5. If somebody has the power to hold this stock up above 5, no matter what happens in the next few months, I think you can tell that that's somebody accumulating a big position. I hear you, Eric Sprott. I know you're buying a lot of this. PAAS. Same thing. Just let it calm on down. Like, just don't be so aggressive. Be aggressive when things line up to the history in the past. Does that make sense? Be aggressive when history is repeating. Be aggressive when people are capitulating. Be aggressively short or getting out when everybody believes you can only go higher. You've got problems. When sentiment weighs, think about it as like a scale with no balance. Like it just flips the other way immediately. All right. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's get into some of these material names that I've warned people. If you don't remember, go check the movies from April 20th. Talked about get away from materials. Just get away. We hit the 200 month, backed off. I like US Steel for the long run. I just can't buy it until what? The capitulation. Hey, Dan, what do you think of VALE? Love it. We rode it, the W bottom. We got in around, Scott, I think, got in like, I think he got in at like 11 something. Very low. I didn't get in until the back test of the 20-day, but it was fine. It was fine because it ended up going to 20s, and we got out, I think I remember, like just at 20. Filled the gap. Went a little higher, but guess what? It ended up being a top. See how this works. CCJ, another one, a high flyer we love. We identified the lows perfectly down here at channel low. Hey, Dan, do you want to buy it? Well, as the market capitulated, no. We also talked about up here, check the monthly out on CCJ while we got out. We said a 50% fib. And look at the resistance up here. Look at all the support and resistance on the monthly. Again, start on the monthly. The first touch, backed off, awesome. Doesn't necessarily mean it's broken, but guess what? What does that mean? Dan, what does that mean? Well, the market is discounting future weakness, clearly, and everything. Let it go. Mosaic. Love this company. Love potash and all the agricultural fertilizer stuff. What do you think, Dan? What do you think it broke your channel downtrend? I think my downtrend sucks, but look at the 50-20 day. If you trade and you know when the 20 day starts curving down, you typically got problems. Look what happened, the curving down. Is it bottoming? No, stop it. Stop it. No, but you can trade it. No one's ever going to say that. So, anyway. CF. Dan, what do you think? I don't think it's worth buying until it capitulates. This is great action. It's holding up. But even, like I said, I've tried to warn people, like, even oil will crash. Nothing is safe. And a liquidation break, capitulation, market puke. Blech. The market pukes, everything goes. Let's get into the culprit of the last 12-year bull market. Why you just can't buy these things. Like, they're just ugly. Ugly. Head and shoulders top. This is not bullish, guys. And even during its up moves, at least you had like high and tight chop. Like you'd pop, chop for a while, pop, chop for a while, pop, chop for a while, pop real hard, blow off. That's the blow off move. Now what? This isn't chop. This is flop, y'all. I don't know how else to say this. Apple. What is Apple doing? Held the backside of this trend line. I put a tweet out there. Show me 150 price handle. I will show you a short ready to jump on it. Jump on it. That's really how simple it is. Just wait. AMD. Oh, I apologize. Where would you short AMD with aggressiveness? 100s. Any 100 handle. 50-day. Absolutely. You see the 50-day? Throw an extra share on there for me. Buy an extra put for me. That's kind of how confident I am about that. Facebook, here's another one of the Fantastic Four now, whatever the Four Horsemen are, all these stupid stupid names for all these power stocks that now are just run out of power. 50-day, keep in mind 200 seems like a very logical number to get tied to for OPEX. If you see the 50-day, think you can short Facebook? Absolutely. Freaking A. Here's one that we talked about was gonna pop. Hey, look at that. It did pop. Look at the volume. Remember volume price analysis? Oh my God. Where did we say? I mean, I feel like we're talking about this in the Discord room, like probably the 20-day or the 50-day. Well, today's action, not necessarily bearish, like game over, but man, if you really want to test the market makers, you do what they do. You let it come back to the 20s, and then if people buy it again, you buy it again and let it ride up and enjoy the ride. I mean, it's really not that hard. I mean, it sounds hard, but does this show you somebody was either short squeezing or buying down here? Look at the volume. Let's like zoom out so we know the relative comparison. That's pretty strong. Now again, is that partially short covering? I would hope so. If someone shorted in the 100 plus range, you should take some at 20. That just seems stupid and greedy. So what happens? Wait for the retest. Wait for a pullback. It's really not that hard, y'all. It's really not that hard, but you know what? Hey, we all make it hard. Where is it? Where's the freaking death? The stock that will probably crash the market ultimately. You called it, Dan? No, I'm just saying. I said what happens when you get into smooth channels. You go you go like perpendicular to the channel like that. That's a straight line move up. You've got to be absolutely scared that this is the end of the move. Oh, well, it's not the end of the move, Dan. Retest fail. Oh, Dan, it's not the end of the move. Retest fail. It's trying to hold up, y'all, but it's not. I mean, if you're newer to the channel, I hope you've been watching. I've liked this stock forever. We started accumulating it. Like friends, family started buying it in the 30s, pre-split, whatever that was. 5x now split. Jesus Christ. Yeah, this thing went on a monster run. And what did we say? Doji on the monthly. Remember, Dan's always starting Doji on the monthly. And then what? Now, if you're below the 20-month, you're below the channel lows. I don't know what to tell you other than the stock is done. Do you want to play with it? Go ahead. I mean, if you like if you're the type of person who catches a fish and it dies in your boat and you just like to play with it, that's the type of person you are, because you should catch and release it. If you're along it and you had this great win, you put it back in the river, or you're going to cook it and you're going to eat it and it's dead, and it's dead for good. It's not coming back to life. Tesla, you can hit it with your rod and you can bang it against the boat. It's not coming back to life. The EXPI, we said the 20-day is just an absolute beast. It's not turning up. It's just being a pain in the bataki. Let it pop. I mean, again, I like this company. This is what I always tell people. Like, I'm going to be wrong on some things. Please don't take anything as I say as like law, because again, I'm not. I'm probability-based trader. I will be wrong. I'm admitting my probability game is that I will be wrong 1 out of 5 times at worst. So do the math. The EXPI might be one of those. I like this company long run. I know we're dominating in the real estate world. I work for them. But what's the problem? Stock's just not acting well. So guess what? You just got to be careful. If you're going to buy it, have a stop, have a plan. Please don't be stupid. And I mean, stupid, just buy it and hold it forever like I will, because it's stuck in some retirement accounts that I can't really liquidate. And I've gotten prices in the 20s, and I just felt like, hey, if you went from 90 to 20, again, bad idea. You should be able to hold it without a stop. Well, guess what? It was all free stock anyway, so if it goes to zero, I guess I wasn't planning on retiring it, because if this was actually money I was trying to take, I'd absolutely be taking it as it popped. But it never really popped. It just acted like poop. UTHR, I've said this a bazillion times. I think this company gets bought out. Watch previous videos. Long term, it looks good. It's holding very high and tight. Keep in mind, the biotechs have been acting like crap. This one has been, if you zoom out on the monthly, I'll just do it real quick. This is good. This is good action. Somebody clearly can hold the stock up. That's why I always talk about, like, if the stock is holding up, it's holding up for a reason. And then once it doesn't, it doesn't. But if it's holding up and it's a buyout target, that's totally different than what we're going to get into when it comes to oil. Because oil is not a buyout target. Oil is screwed, in my opinion. And the reason why I say that, and people are going to be like, dude, you are just way off topic. Well, remember how we talk about smooth channels and blow-offs? What is that? Is this just not Tesla 2.0? Everybody loved Tesla at the highs. I mean, try to find an oil bear not named Dan in the whole world. Can't. What's going on? Sentiment is bullish, but we are not making new highs, y'all. We are not making new highs. Look at this freaking daily. I know we're back testing this trend line, which seems very ominous, potentially. I don't know. Again, hard to pick tops during OPEX. Just got to be careful with that kind of crap. However, I'm short it at a terrible price, in my opinion. Now I look back at it and adding, but my feeler bets. But I think, again, here might be my 1 out of 5, but it's hard because XOP is confirming all of this, and we'll get into that in a second. But if this is a choppy, sloppy topping during OPEX, keep in mind, it's only Monday. But then we look at the 10-minute action. I've talked about this all day. Oh, look at that volume. Holy shit. What? Hello. Talked about some drop-in action on volume in the last couple days and just kind of flat action. We talked about intraday, like it would pop, squeeze, and then it would come back and the wicks would be longer. I mean, the biggest candles of the day. Jesus, holy, look at that volume. Maybe we'll stick around here for, what do we got? What time is it? Oh, that's the close, 2 o'clock. That is some interesting squeeze action. Now, again, would you call that an anomaly? You tell me. Keep in mind, this big red candle preceded what? The big red down. Would you say the big green up is going to precede the big green up candle? I would argue probably not. If anything, it feels like a trap. Now, again, my feelings, my thoughts are based on studying the past, studying history, studying everything I've ever done in trading. And what do you think? What do you think, Dan? Well, what do you think? I mean, again, if I was a market maker at the high, I would want to sell because I think demand destruction is following because oil cannot sustain at these prices. It just literally can't. And then you go look at the drip and the XOP and you go, well, whoa. Don't you always say that the miners, the drillers, the names producing commodities typically peak first? Yeah, we do. We say that every time. Is it right every time? I would say, again, that's more of like a 90% batting average, which is still really good. There's your high. There's your lower high. XOP, what are you doing? What is going on? What is happening? What happened? Why can't you get up to the highs? Now, keep in mind, the drillers always are going to be in the know. The people who are, again, the commodity in itself does not have a CEO or a business or a company or whatever. No, the companies that produce this stuff will know first when demand destruction starts. Seems very obvious. Wow, high volume highs and high volume lows. Love to retest. Look at that top right there. I wish I would have been paying more attention today. I've got some distractions. Look at this. Top of that candle literally was the top today. Let's see what happens. Keep it pretty simple though. What do you expect now with oil? I expect that in time because it is OPEX. I do have this understanding that I will see blow-offs. I will see extremes during OPEX. So what does that mean for oil? Probably going lower. XOP, is that showing you a lower high? Are you seeing a lower lows down here? I think it looks like it is. Well, Dan, why don't you just go to the monthly and shut the hell up? All right, I will. Volume at price zone, the 0.382 and the 100 month. And look what was the previous month. Doji. And now a lower high for this month. Again, I can't tell you when I'm looking at the monthly what day of the month because obviously there's how many trading days? 20 trading days in a month. Probably not going to tell you which day it's going to be. But we're halfway through the month. I don't think we're going to get much higher at this point. And if we do, trade the extreme. Let's end on ExxonMobil. Love this stuff, man. Nice retest of range highs. What, Dan? Well, go to the monthly. Shut up and just look at the monthly. What do you see up here? I mean, I probably should stretch that to like, let's take it to there. I see the volume at price zone. Oh my God, the stock was up here 2007, 2008. Oh my God, it was up here for like 12 years, 5, 6 years. Oh shit, do you not think that somebody along the way who bought it down here is probably looking at it going, I'm going to get even, or I'm going to take some of my money? Yeah, that's how I think about it. That's what I would too. If I had, say, a couple thousand shares of this I've been holding for years, I'd be like, I'm going to sell some covered calls. I'm going to take some profit because you know what? Last time ExxonMobil went from 28 up to 90, what happened? It corrected. Now, again, I'm not calling for a 20 handle. It probably more looks like this, where it went up to 96, pulls back to what, 50s? I would say even more of like, see these trend lines here? I'm saying not even that deep. I'm saying somewhere in the 60s to 70s range. All right, I hope this kind of stuff helps. Again, like, if this doesn't seem very obvious to you sometimes, that's your emotions. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, have you seen a golfer all of a sudden can't putt to save his life? You seen a football player just can't catch a football? You see a guy airball a free throw? Do you think that's because he doesn't know what he's doing? Or is it because of his emotions and all the problems going through his head are like clouding his judgment? Or because he dropped the previous pass, so he's carrying that emotion and feeling of lack and that he can't catch the ball into the next one? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. If you've made mistakes and you've lost in the past, you're reliving the past, then you're going to literally manifest a reliving of the past, which is usually a loss. That's how people learn. I mean, that's how like our DNA is wired. It's to keep us from getting killed. Like, if something bad happens, we live in it. We remember it so we don't get chewed up by the saber-toothed tiger or the dinosaur or whatever the hell it is back in the day. Keep in mind, it's all psychological. I will talk to you guys and gals later. Please stop by Discord room. If you're watching this far, slam a like on this. I need to get the likes up. I don't ask for them enough, but if you really did like it, please do it, or dislike it. I don't care. Need the feedback. Talk to you later. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.